Yes, ladies and gentlemen, Big Hodge Media Podcast is back in full effect. I'm here on this lovely Monday afternoon in September. I've been away on hiatus for various reasons, a lot of business mergers, and I also want to announce that I'm back with House of Glory on this new adventure, meaning that there's a new era, new direction. I've been an executive producer for a mere 5 years over at House of Glory. That's what this podcast is sponsored by. It's sponsored by those good folks over at the House of Glory Faithful. And I'm here. Big Hodge. Live in effect. All right. So I've been working on various projects, working on some podcast stuff, some new vlog shows with JD from New York. We have 3 separate projects going on at one time. We just got to keep on creating new content, YouTube content, or as far as even my vlog show. This is just the audio. This is the audio perspective of the Big Hodge podcast. So I'm just going to go ahead and be blessing you with visual and audio. So the vlog show shall be debuting sometime this week. Well, re-debuting, as in full show segments. And make sure that you subscribe to the Big Hodge Media Podcast channel. I'm still trailblazing. With that being said, I've also taken the direction of going back to freelance, and I'm taking bookings. Bookings are available. That's as far as your photography needs, your videography needs, your cinematography needs, documentaries, street photo shoots, even if you need assistance on podcasting, anything on vlogs, feel free to contact me. I'm always open. I'm here to help you as you help me. We progress together. Come on, let's do this. All right, so as we progress to today's show, we're going to talk about filmmaking and various obstacles that you must face in this criteria of filmmaking. Let's go with ways on how to avoid that. We're going to talk about shot lists, equipment, audio, visual, things of that nature, and the overall perspective of just having fun. It's like, don't let it dawn on you on, damn, I gotta do this. No, have fun while you're doing it. So, all right, let's talk about a shot list. A shot list is before you go and pick up your camera and waste your energy, time, and battery consumption. And this is quite to the perspective of knowing what it is that you're going to do and knowing your location, knowing your shots. I'm talking about wide, close-ups, uptights, dollies, zooms in, zooms out, various shot selections, but knowing your shot list. And it will save you a bunch of time. It'll save you a bunch of takes. I mean, the cameras are tools, but not to be overly used because then they break down. So let's just be smart on not being the homeboy with just a camera, but being, quite courteous to yourself of your time and energy. And make sure you have a shot list. A shot list will help you a long ways. And that also goes in segue to your equipment. Your equipment coincides with your shot list. Your shot list is going to give you the details of where you need to be and what you need to do, but also it will intel about the equipment that you have to use. I mean, are you going to do quick run and gun? Are we going to have a gimbal? Are we going to have a shoulder rig? Are we going to be steady and documentary style and doing a tripod? Or are we going to be using cinematics and going with dollies and jibs? Because that's usually what's used for like 2, 3, even full crews. So, bang out your shot list. Then figure out with your shot list about what type of equipment are you going to be using. So, you could be 2 steps ahead of the game. Kill 2 birds in 1 stone with that. But when you're doing that, make sure that you're limber. Make sure that you're full of energy. Make sure that you're enthusiastic so that way it doesn't feel like you're dreading along. That's something that you want to avoid when doing these types of either photo shoots or videography. You just want to make sure that you're into it and you're also two steps ahead by preparing. The preparation is what's going to make the shoot even more enthusiastic for you. You're like, hey, that worked. I didn't have to waste so many shots for XYZ and burn out batteries and go back to the equipment, and that's how things get confused. So we're gonna go ahead and talk about audio. Audio could turn off or turn on your audience to engage more with you, that you could suck them in more, that they'll more so be like, hey, this has professional grade quality, or it was just clipping, it was too distorted, like the visuals was good but the audio just goes amateurish. So audio is another perspective that you might want to prepare on. If you're doing run and gun and you're doing, you're kind of up close to your subject, we could say doc style, you could actually get away with a good shotgun mic. A good shotgun mic is something like the Rode Micro, the Rode Mic Pro, the Rode On The Go, any of those Rode mics, or just a decent, even the Takstar. The Takstar has a good cheap type budget microphone that you could mess with the decimal points, the levels. You could even go like negative and plus 12 dB. So something like that in the mere budget of $20-30 could help you out to get you crispy audio. So just look for something that could get you better than in-camera audio, that could take up your professionalism up a notch, or something that you're working towards professionalism. That will help you out a lot as far as filmmaking. Because everybody just relies on the visuals. The visuals isn't the only thing, it's a component with audio also. So let that coincide. Do some research, check different links, check out shotgun mics, lavalier mics. And if you're in a 2-3 man crew, or you work in a whole full crew, then of course you're going to be booming. You got to have a boom operator, and you got to get professional grade quality sound. So audio also coincides with the visuals. And hey, if you're going to pick up the camera and we're going to talk visuals, let's talk about basic knowledge. Let's talk about, hey, if I'm going to be out there in broad daylight, I must have an ND filter to get those crisp colors, crisp visuals, meaning that you won't blow out your highlights. You could save your shadows, and it'll be great for color grading. I know a lot of you just apply a LUT and think that that's color grading, but coincide with that, a ND filter can help you out. So for color grading, you can save highlights and shadows, bring them up, bring them down, check your levels, tweak them, and then apply your LUTs. And something for an investment of like a mere $20 up to $100 with the Peter McKinnon ND filter. He has a Pro Mist filter and an ND filter that can totally help you out on the quality side. And it will enhance your visuals to just saving it for the color grades. That ought to help you on the visual side. Also, keep in mind, study your rule of thirds. It's something that can help you out on making sure that you're not having a subject's head chopped off, legs chopped off, unless it's something that you're ready to break the rule of thirds and the 180 shutter rule. So study your 180 shutter rule and your rule of thirds, and that will help you out upon basic composition, on letting you know if you're going to upgrade from a beginner. You're going to put in some time, do your research, and those are things that should help you out on your visual side. All the different specs of visuals. It's a wide open spectrum. It's subjective because it's based off of your own creativity. Just go out there and create. But don't pick up any old piece of equipment and say that you're a professional. It's going to take some time. Do your studying, do your research, go out there and explore, make things happen. Now I have another subject of lighting versus camera perspective. Now there's a lot of newbies out there that just pick up these cameras with all this crazy technology and specs in them, and go out there and shoot and say that they're a filmmaker, and they're forgetting about the lighting perspective. So don't you know that those things are a beautiful relationship that hold hands and skip down the street and make all types of good loving? Those things go together, people. Let's go ahead and do something in the spectrum of lighting versus camera. Let's say if you have a budget of $2,500. This is typically what I see newbies go out and do. The first thing they want to do is go ahead and get the camera body, or they'll get a nice little bundle package. Now let's say we could compare some budget comparisons. All right, you could get a bundle pack of the Sony a7 III full frame camera with 2 lenses, a couple of SD cards, a nice little bundle package on Amazon. All right, in a budget of $2,500, boom, that's $23.98 right there. All right, let's just compare those numbers. $23.98 right there. No lights, no accessories, nothing else. All right, we have the GH5, the Panasonic GH5. It's been a cinematic beast. There's a bundle package right now for $19.99. You can go ahead and get that. It's your basics. You know, you don't have your tripod, you don't have your gimbals, you don't have anything else, no accessories. Just your camera body, your lens, your SD cards, and anything of that nature. You just got a nice little basic bundle package. All right, then you have the Canon EOS R, full frame mirrorless camera. Good color science. Also comes with a lens, also comes with an SD card, and a couple of other basic accessories. $21.99. All right, so we're talking about a budget of $2,500. You have the EOS R at $21.99, a full frame beast, right? Now that more so sounds great. The tech specs, they sound good. Whatever comes with it, and the performance, those cameras could perform. All 3 of those cameras above, they could perform. They're great. They're good for what they do, but you know they need assistance in order to be persistent in their performance. We were talking about the camera budget. Now we're talking about the full budget of lighting. All right. So with $2,500, there's another option. What I would say is go grab you a Sony a6500 for $13.49 with a nice little bundle package. You get a kit lens, and you get, SD cards, book bags, monopod, and things of that nature. Do you know how much money you have left over, so that way you could go ahead and purchase lights? You could get LED panels, or even a startup. You could get a startup CFL lighting kit. Those things are going to enhance your cinematics so much. Look at this. You got even the Panasonic G85, a micro four thirds camera. All right, that first camera, let me take it back. That first camera, that Sony a6500, is a great low light performance camera. It's a 4K camera, and it's a crop sensor camera. All right. There's a nice little lineup of lenses that you could get from Sigma that'll help you out when it comes to low light performances. A bunch of 1.4 crops. You could get the 16, the 30. You could get the 56. They all 1.4 aperture, great low light. Also, when you go purchase lights, you could do your studyings of conveying stories of moods, pushing the moods through your lighting. All right, let's get back to the Panasonic G85. The G85 is a micro four thirds camera. It comes with some accessories and a nice little kit lens, and it's also pushing a 4K. It has 4K images, good for photography also. The thing that this one has is great image stabilization. All right, the G85. That's a good, and it also has good bit rates also. So Panasonic is winning on that. And then you also have your crop censored Canon 80D. This is what I would recommend, the Canon 80D or the Canon T7i. The reasons why, because that Canon 80D has that dual pixel autofocus, and we're talking about a body that's $1,149. You could just combine that with a grade Nifty 50 if you wanted to. Nifty 50 is about $125, a 51.8. With the money that's left over, you could get you a nice lighting kit. You could go with LEDs, nice LED panels, or you could go with CFLs and get you a nice lighting kit. Then also, Panasonic has the G85 for $749, a nice little bundle package with the kit lens. Good image stabilization, 4K, and it pushes great bit rates. Good for color grading. But it's a micro four thirds sensor, so it's not really good in low light, but the way to compensate for that is getting you a nice lighting kit. You can get you a cheap lighting kit and it could go a long ways. So these are things that I recommend within the $2,500 budget. You could achieve a lot. You can even get accessories, maybe even throw in a gimbal. You can get you a cheap gimbal or a nice shoulder rig or a decent tripod. Don't jump out the gate and go ahead and pick up a camera that's just blowing your whole budget. You blow your whole load and you have to sit around and wait to create real good cinematics. Well, overall, with all this information that I have depicted out and written down, and all these news and notes upon equipment and filmmaking and things that I've been doing for over the last 9 years, 10 years, it's just to help you out. So with all the information that I have crammed in to this noggin over the last 9-10 years of shooting with professionals in the industry and independently, feel free to contact me through social media. Feel free to send me an email. Feel free to subscribe to the Big Hodge Media podcast channel, and feel free to always interact with me. I'm here to provide information and insight upon things of filmmaking to help you out, the listener. I gotta trailblaze my ass up out of here. Thank you for listening to the Big Hodge Media podcast. Catch me on the next show on this Wednesday on YouTube. Peace.